Barakti Hawa Rakatha Yahusha, Barakti Hawa Rakatha Yahusha, Bahasham Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the elders. Salutations to you, sincere brothers, teaching and truth and in sincerity. Lesson will be entitled The Mount of the Gathering of Troops. Lord will, you are edified. Revelation chapter 16 and verse 13. And I, referring to John the Revelator, saw three unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon, and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet. So as you can see, John the Revelator is prophesying, right? The three unclean spirits goes into your three city states, all right, as known as London for finance, Washington for military, and the Vatican for religion, right? The dragon is a representation of the pagan Rome Empire, okay? The beast is a representation for NATO, EU, and you can associate America. All right. The false prophet is a representation for the Roman Catholic Church. All right. Verse 14. For they are the spirits of devils working miracles, which go forth unto the kings of the earth and of the whole world, to gather them to the battle of that great day of the Most High Almighty. Major point. To gather them to the battle of that great day of the Most High Almighty. All right? Keep that in mind. Verse 15. Behold, I, referring to Yahushua, come as a thief. Blessed is he that watch and keep his garments, the elect, lest he walk naked and they see his shame. Verse 16. And he gathered them together into a place called in the Hebrew tongue Armageddon. All right? Armageddon. According to the Greek for Armageddon,
Strong's G 717, Harmageddon. Harmageddon.
and of course, according to of Hebrew origin, you have H 20 and 22, pronounced as Ha-Ra or Har, which means hill mountain, hence mount. Now, this is talking about a location, all right, meaning somewhere in the Middle East, okay? Keep that in mind. Let's go back. And for the second part of that word, which is Strong's H 40 and 23, pronounced as Magdawan. Magdawan, right? Which means place of crowds, place of troops. Going into what? Revelation 11 and 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe come quickly, referring to WW3. And Revelation 16:16, and he gathered them together into a place called, in the Hebrew tongue, all right, Har Magdawan, okay, which is going into what? The mountain of, or the mount of the gathering of troops, all right, referring to WW3. Joel 3:1. For behold, in those days and in that time, and we are approaching these very days, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, meaning what? Delivering us from our captivity, releasing us from our captivity. Lord will, we are the elect. Verse 2, I will also gather all nations, all right, and will bring them down into the valley of Yahweh-Shaphat, which means Yahweh's judgment, and will plead with them, meaning judge them. Therefore my people, Israelites, beginning with the elect, and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. All right, so WW3, all right, is to gather the nations so they can be judged by Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah. And what did they do? And will judge with them, and will judge them. Therefore my people, Israelites, and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. All right? So these other nations, beginning with Esau, has to pay. All right? And WW3 will be an instrument that the Most High will utilize to punish the nations. Okay? The mount of the gathering of troops. Second Ezra, chapter 13. And verse 5. Now this account is going into Yahushua's arrival, referring to his second coming. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. All right, now a major point. Gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven. This is referring to WW3. All right. See, WW3 will be going on upon Yahushua's arrival. All right. To subdue the man, referring to Yahushua, that came out of the sea. The sea referring to the spiritual realm. See, once Yahushua returns, right, WW3 will be active. He will return in the midst of their fighting. Verse 6, but I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew on it. All right, and flew up on it. That great mountain is referring to a gigantic chariot, or the fathership. Verse 7. But I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not, meaning it was so big. All right. Ezra could not see the complete size of the chariot, of this chariot. Verse 8. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered, Okay? All right? Hence, Armageddon, together to subdue him, were sore afraid, and yet durst fight. Meaning, when Yahushua returns, these nations that are fighting amongst each other, these mere mortals, will join forces, all right, to fight Yahushua, and they will be utterly destroyed. Key quote in my source is the Deseret.com. We have not faced the prospect of Armageddon since Kennedy and the Cuban Missile Crisis, Biden said. Daniel 4:17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones, all right, to the intent that the living, all right, the elect, may know that the Most High rule in the kingdom of men and give it to whomsoever he will and set up over it the basis of men, all right. So the Most High rules in the kingdom of men. And within the Most High's will, all right, WW3 will happen. Lord, will you edify? Shalom.